They're like screaming.
There's so many of them at once, that's why.
Oh my god, it's like it's never been human type of feeling. Oh shit, Taylor! And I feel like it's here.
And I don't know why they won't leave.
Salem Part 2. Pretty exciting stuff.
Now we are headed to...
Must say, I didn't do an intro to this video, so if you like this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the content. If you like more Selena Spooky Boo stuff, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the content, do all that shit. If you like this specific type of reaction, support me on Patreon, by the way. And I did really enjoy the first part of the Selena Spooky Boo in Salem video. I thought it was very funny, it was very charming, it had a lot of charm to it. And I just like the concept of Selena Spooky Boo in Salem. It's a good feeling. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this thing. I'm not going to waste any more time. I just wanted to quickly do my pathetic ass intro.
To Omen, and Omen is where we're meeting Willow, who is a psychic medium. So she's going to be taking us to Proctor's Ledge, where all of the witches are haunted. This place is so off limits at nighttime, but if you get caught, you get a $500 ticket and you go to jail for the night, which is super interesting. So we're going to go there now during the day. But believe it or not, ghosts are around in the daytime, not just the nighttime. So we'll see if we can get anything. But tonight we're doing...
Avoid that $500 ticket. Oh my gosh, a fine, $500 ticket, $500 fine, in a night in prison, jail. Oh my gosh, no way.
And as we've learned today from the other psychic, I do have a demon. So I'm kind of interested to see if he'll play shy tonight. I don't know why I feel like it's a he. I just feel like it's a he.
Yeah.
So, Omen, here we come.
Here we are.
Beautiful name.
So we are here with Willow. Willow
Hello.
is a psychic medium, right? Who's going to be with us today, taking us to
Proctor's Ledge.
Yes. And then we will be coming back here to do a seance. But I do want to tell you what happened at our reading.
Yeah.
It was great. I learned a lot about myself, but the way that we did talk about it and what happened when I was younger. When I was about 7, there were 2 girls that lived on my street, and the one's mom was like young and cool, and she had a bunch of Ouija boards, and we would play with them. Like, a lot. We connected to something that was like a bit intense, and we would trade things. So
You bartered?
we bartered as 7-year-olds. Yeah, when I was little.
Jesus. It sounds, I mean, I don't want to sound all hokey and everything, but it sounds very demonic to me.
So she does think that I do have like kind of like a demonic attack.
I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Yeah, 7-year-olds messing with the Ouija boards. I don't think the mom had any ill intentions. But I would certainly never let my kids and their friends play with the Ouija boards. That's just not, no.
Kind of because of all that. So you actually said that later we would possibly be able to do a Banishing.
Absolutely.
So
Cleared up.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, even when he was like mentioning it to me earlier briefly, I was like, there's definitely something. And like I said, inherently you are not evil. It's whatever you kind of let in.
That's what I needed to know.
Unfortunately, yeah, no, it's not you. It's unfortunately when we use any type of Ouija board, even pendulums, we let in anything.
Can it be hard to detach from?
Yes.
Okay, so
Especially
it could
where
be like a
it's been-
continual protection thing, like keep doing it and eventually it'll
Yeah, more so it's the initial like breaking. It might try to come back, but as long as you're protected and like grounding yourself and aligning yourself with not that, and you have those guards set up, the chances of coming back are slim.
Right. Because, she's had so many years of this thing kind of feeding off her, if there is something there, it's had a lot of years of feeding off her. It was conjured up at a young age, and it's been with her for probably more than 15 years, right? If less than that or more than that, I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to the first video all that much when it came to how long she's had this, But it makes sense that it might be harder to get rid of something that's been there for a while compared to something that might be just new. That's why when you get possessions or you get some attachments, for example, they normally tell you to go get that taken care of right now, because the longer it's with you, the stronger it's going to have like an attachment. So it's better to get that stuff like taken care of ASAP.
Do you feel anything here?
Honestly, it's very, very subtle. It's not nearly as heavy.
So is this more like, this is a great place to put this? Is that what that feels like?
That's what it feels like.
The historians claim with all their research that the area right behind the Walgreens is where they believe it to be.
I'm sorry, I can't answer that. The area behind the Walgreens.
And also, I think it's because it's been so like it's so built up that they don't want to stay here. I mean, like where we were before is more secluded and it's less busy. So
Yeah.
while it's a nice kind of more, at least for me, it doesn't feel like anything heavy. It's like they can kind of come in, they appreciate like the gifts and whatnot, but it's not like they stay here for a long period of
It definitely
time.
just like, for me, I expected a field, and I expected like a big memorial and like maybe a museum.
More so of what we were in up there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nothing, no.
No, it's like
No.
seeing Plymouth Rock for the first time. It's like a little thing. It's not like a whole ass rock.
Sarah Good. I feel drawn to that name. I like that. Sarah Good.
Sarah Good.
Why her last name's Good, and they're like, you're bad.
Right?
Bad Sarah Good.
Also, it's kind of like the Holy Grail, where people don't always know 100% where this took place.
Okay.
And one of the spots that was kind of, thought is the corner of Hanson and South, which we are at right now.
Oh, so this is where they think the hanging actually happened.
There's many different places where they think, like from what historians have kind of deduced, is that where the memorials are right now, at the very bottom of the hill, is kind of where they think it is. But however, there's other options, which is down this way.
By the playground.
But yeah, like
By the playground?
from what I've heard, where people
Awesome.
have, at least they feel the darker energy.
It's not necessarily darker, but there is a shift as like we walk over this way.
Yeah, I can't remember the year, but they
Selena's
had,
just booking it.
they had like a little circle by the water tower trying to bring the good energy to Gallows Hill. I don't remember what year that was. I've also buried dead birds here. So,
There we go.
so if you hear some tweeting, that's probably my blue jay.
Oh, I wouldn't. My ass would not.
Does someone want to take a chance at getting tetanus?
Yeah.
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 Taylor,
Are you up
thank
to date
you.
in your boosters?
I'm sure you are. He's 21. His mom.
Scared, buddy?
Berg, but why didn't all of a sudden a tree branch just came down and started wrapping around my neck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
It would happen, but like in a sexy way.
Yeah, and then I'm just like,
Totally sexy red.
Can you fence?
and I fit.
How'd it feel though?
That was like a perfect fit.
Look at the guy on the slide.
I was wondering what that feeling was.
See the face on the slide.
Oh, it's like a tongue licking. Yeah, that's weird. Wow.
There have been full-bodied apparitions spotted within the woods. Disembodied voices shrieking in the middle of the night, so eerie that the startling sound sends chills racing down the spines of even the most unflappable people.
Yeah, when
That's
I was
the
at
first time I've
school
had
at
anything
Salem
terrifying.
State, shit used to fly off the desk in my room.
So this
and
whole
I had to
this
be,
whole place
What?
is
like
yeah.
this whole place is just a paranormal hub.
got
I
hit in the
wouldn't
head
be
with a
surprised
broken
if like Salem built like the buildings on like the dorm buildings on top of burial sites of some sort.
You know what they're welcome to be
Right.
like? To be like, welcome to Salem. Shit happens.
It happens.
Spooky shit happens.
Put that on a shirt.
Right.
Salem is just a notorious.
Well, I'm
for-
sure there has to be a shirt out there somewhere that says "Welcome to Salem." Shit happens. Like that's, dude. The history of Salem is so. I don't want to use the term rich because it's a very tragic history with that complete that area. It's a tragic history. I mean, the witch trials. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, if anybody had asked me, do you believe Salem is haunted? I'd say 100%. 100%. And we were talking about, the last reaction I did, which was the Exploring with Josh video, where we're talking about this little room that where, the doctors would have to go to tell the parents that they're, or whoever was losing somebody, that their loved one is about to die or has died and passed away. And that one little room had so many emotions in it that it could really be affecting, to be in that room. And imagine that, but just all of Salem. It's a dark history, basically.
Like
what
it's
I'm
like I
getting at.
wouldn't be surprised if everything is built off of something. No, it's interesting that like 'cause right now I can feel my throat and like my breathing is like
A little bit off.
labored, like it's hard. And it's pressure.
Okay. And that's a sign of like
Normally,
stuff?
Not dark stuff necessarily, but it is someone because sometimes when I channel, they'll either like show me things or I'll get physical symptoms of how they pass. And right now my breathing is like heavily labored. But this area here, particularly for some reason, the slide, obviously the slide wasn't here, I guess, when everything happened, but it's something.
Well,
it is-
isn't metal kind of like a conductor? Like it can like absorb and
Yeah, but it's interesting because it's not like near the swings. It's nothing. For some reason, it's the slide.
it's over here. So
Yeah.
we're making our way kind of down too.
Yeah.
Right? Right.
Just looking down like the way. It's
I
just
get
this-
the vibe. I get the vibe
The
here.
sense of it.
So
Yeah.
go around that way as well and see if you get different kind of a feeling?
Honestly,
they all lead to the same place at the bottom.
I'm kind of feeling this way. There's something interesting, I feel. There's something inherently bad about this way. It's fine, but I'm interested to see what's down there because I'm being drawn
It's
more
like,
that way.
did it not get like weirdly dark very quick there for a second or
Yeah.
something?
The clouds are doing a little bit more.
Nothing bad can happen because there's labradoodles. Alright.
Labradoodles.
This is so steep.
Oh yeah, I have asthma attacks all the time with myself.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we'll come up the other way.
That ain't good.
Yeah,
But,
the other
like-
way is much more like peaceful.
Yeah, but see, this is probably why I wanted to go in this way because I think some weird shit happened down here. Why does this remind me of the Twilight baseball field?
Probably.
Oh my god. Where's the filter? Just
Of course they did it. Of course.
You better hold on tight, spider monkey.
Okay.
Ugh. Oh, that was such a cringy line too. I remember doing a reaction to Twilight. God, that is such a cringy line.
There is another like
Better hold on,
potential
spider monkey.
From what people who are into, learning about this and researching where this all happened. And something I read, it did say the baseball field.
okay. This feels more like indigenous-y rather than the heaviness that's up there. This is a little lighter in some aspects, which is odd. Up there was definitely like
Yeah, this
heavy.
Is, like I said, everyone said about it's like the Holy Grail. You don't always know exactly what happened, where it was.
So first we have the REM pod. Once it turns on, if energy
I'd
comes
love
around
to
it
get
at
one.
all, it's gonna go off. And let's pop out. This is my favorite because it's hella spooky.
I don't think I've seen one of those.
She is 90 degrees.
Are you okay?
I had to convert it
doctor.
to
Did you
Celsius.
glitch? We do have the REM pod, which if energy goes around at all, then we have this, which is my literal favorite thing in the whole world.
It's creepy as hell.
It's gonna calibrate. So. Is it the wind?
It's I don't know if it's the wind or if that.
No, because it was winding before. So this, if something's in front of it, it'll go off. Okay, so this is already going off.
So that's going, and as soon as that started going, I have goosebumps.
Okay. I've never had this go off yet. In my whole 2 investigations that we've done this on, it's never on. But like when you go, that's
Right.
what makes it go off. So that's interesting. And then yeah, if this goes, somebody has to be in front of it.
Okay.
Okay. If anyone is here with us, can you either go in the proximity of this again, like you did before, or put your hand or anything in front of the music box?
I wonder if
It feels like a child, and they're like,
What is this?
probably
that's
with
what it
the
was. They were,
park
like,
not being too
excited,
far
and then they
behind.
were like, wait a minute. I don't think they're used to people coming down here with this stuff, so it feels more of like a cautious thing.
Right, they're not sure of it yet.
Okay. All right, guys. And we just keep down here, and the energy's more light down here. But if you want to let us know if you're here, feel free to touch either of these, just to let us know you're here. Yeah, it kind of seemed like it was just like
Yeah.
an interesting thing, really quick, and then they.
Right. I was like, oh. They lost interest.
I'm not sure if because I've touched upon this too, where if everybody starts freaking out and talking about it, like as it's happening, sometimes the ghost or the spirit might just go away, especially if it's a spirit that may have never even used equipment like this before. It might just be like, what did I just do? And then just kind of book it. Especially if it's a child, it might not feel safe. I completely get it. It makes sense to me. I'm not sure if it's about to go off or not, but we'll find out.
Do you feel like anyone's here?
They were, and now it's just like, we're good.
All right.
It was like very curious. Like it felt more like a child.
Okay.
Very curious. It was similar up there too, but this is a lighter aspect. And they like came in, and I got the goosebumps. And then once you were like, "Hey, acknowledge them," they're like, "Wait a minute."
We're gonna head out.
It's they're not used to. Again, it's more like childlike, so they're not used to.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of
that.
feel
I'm
that too.
interested to see what that slide has to say
All right.
with these.
We go to the slide. Sign if we should go to the slide. Beep, beep.
The
That place
playground.
all the way up there, the little like the playground basketball areas where they actually had found bone fragments, but they were unsure of when they we're from.
Right.
Well, they said there's literally all of this colonial area. There's just bones everywhere too, right?
Right.
Could be recent, could be animal, could be people. You don't know. There's a lot of, predator activity. I saw a hawk there a couple years ago. So I believe, like what's now Salem proper, it was the North
What was that
River, which is where
noise?
people took their boats to collect their loved ones from the bottom of Gallows Hill. Kind of like Rebecca Nurse was one of the people whose families came and picked up their body from the bottom of the hill.
It's crazy that like you could just accuse somebody and that was enough.
Oh yeah, my friend is a descendant of Bridget Bishop. She actually just left this morning. She came up to visit for the weekend.
All right, guys. So we've set up the REM pod,
Fascinating.
and we have the music box in this area. It is daytime, which I know I'm like, yeah, you can go hunt during the day. Like the vibe isn't exactly the same because we got the glorious, non-fear of daytime.
And the cross
But-
one's out.
And there's labradoodles everywhere. But hey,
You can be scared when there's labradoodles.
let me see if this works. Okay, that works. So this is Weird Vibe Slide. Weird Vibe Slide. Okay. If there's anybody here
That's a good
who
idea,
would like
putting
to
something
speak
on
to
the top
us
and bottom
make
of it.
make yourself known by walking by the end of the slide or touching that weird doodad at the top. Do you feel anything here?
It's slowly coming back. I feel them on this side of my body, and I don't know why they won't leave. Go touch it.
It's not gonna hurt you.
If that thing goes off, that's gonna be pretty impressive. Okay.
You want the slide to go down?
I think so. I'm getting chills all down my spine.
Isn't it crazy when it goes off?
You want to go down the slide? Can you go down and touch the music box at the bottom?
If
Or
the
is that
music
too
box
scary?
goes
It's
off,
okay, you can stay at the top if you want to. But we'd like it if you could go down and touch the music box.
I feel like when we acknowledge them, they're almost like scared. It like scares them off.
This is a child energy, which is why they're like so cautious. Because the second that went off, they left my side and they went out there.
Let's all each ask a question and focus on like, okay, they like that.
All right, perfect.
Okay, if we can ask you a question, can you stop that now? Okay. Taylor's new to this world.
My inhaler's at home if you need it.
Are you a girl? Your turn. Just work.
If this is a child, make a long beep.
Is this area close to where the supposed witches were hung? I got so many goosebumps.
Thank you. Are you one of those witches? Or are you one of those individuals that were hung? Thank you.
She's gonna throw up.
I should have worn my shirt with a list of names so you could have.
Right.
We know some of them.
Right. I know, I think.
They're like screaming.
There's so many of them at once. That's why.
Are you a man?
Immediately.
Oh my god.
you know, I was about to say, like, she kind of like asked it if you're a girl, and nothing happened, but it was almost like it got annoyed that it didn't ask if it was a boy or a man, and it kind of just did a really long beep. So now that it finally got asked, it was like right away, beep.
God.
So there are multiple.
If I had arm hair and I didn't shave it off, look, you've got.
It's just all
Oh my
over.
God. Okay.
So there are multiple entities with us right now. Can you do a little beep if that's confirming? The little beeps, yeah. There's
Wow,
a bunch of them.
that was specific. Yeah.
Can you imagine like Flasha being able to physically see them and there's just like 13 people standing all around
Yeah.
us? Oh, there was a person in Crocs and I thought that they were a ghost.
Why don't we like the music box?
Maybe they don't like the music.
Maybe.
I respond to my neck, my back.
Well, you know what? The terrain changes, right? So maybe whenever I saw ghosts when I was younger, they were walking on the land as of like where it was when they were alive. So like I'd see like half of a person. So maybe the ground was higher here and this was like a plane that they can't. Is that a possibility?
To move that maybe to one of the steps that's right there.
Yeah.
They would dump bodies over the crevice when there was a crevice.
Right.
That would go into the river. So things obviously were higher due to erosion and also natural human things. Like, you know, that baseball field, that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Don't fall. You're very expensive.
Is that easier now for you to access the music box? Or do you still prefer the tower?
It's weird how like when we're asking questions it goes off, but in this whole period when we weren't talking about them, weren't anything, there hasn't been a noise.
Right.
No.
I don't think they like the music box because it's like, for me now, it's just like radio silence. Oh.
It's agreeing. Okay.
Okay, we'll put the music box away.
Let's just turn this.
Beautiful.
Let's just put this away.
Sorry. Thank you for answering.
There you go. It's off.
It
It's
does
away.
not like it,
Are
yeah.
you happy about that? You can stop your beeping.
Thank you.
It's like every time I do this, I'm not ready. Because it's the way it interacts.
Exactly. You never know what you're gonna get. Like, it's always a new experience regardless. All right.
And you said this was the first you've gotten responses from anything while in
From
Salem so far?
that.
This never worked at the other place. We used it in like 4 different locations, and it's never been the one that they choose.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you said, like, all in Salem of your trip so far.
No.
Okay.
Well, you're showing us it works now.
Right when you said Salem, you know, a word that they would understand. You need to die.
Let's see. You could ask them if they're part of Salem Village or Salem Town.
I've been there.
'Cause
Right.
This was Salem Village. Well, Salem Village is Danvers, right?
Yeah, that's all. So most of the hangings, aside from these places, happened in the surrounding towns like Danvers and Peabody. And
It's just
all of
going
that. So that was
off.
all a part of Salem.
It beeps every time you said those places. It went beep, beep.
Yeah. Does this place just hold so much emotional turmoil, I suppose, for you that you're kind of not locked in, but you
Drawn.
right, exactly, are drawn to this place because of that?
Thank you for the warning.
Oh my god. Okay,
Thank you.
I have one to ask. I know it wasn't, but were any of you actually practicing witches? I don't know why that makes them more sad. It's not like I want anyone to die, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
especially like, yeah.
And I just get like it's goosebumps all again on my arm, like just everywhere.
Were you guys just the cool kids?
It's a
and
natural
everybody was
feeling, yeah,
jealous?
when there are entities around, man.
Okay, never mind. It's not a light energy at all, but sorry, I don't want to be offensive. Okay.
Yeah.
They're laughing.
Right.
It does sound
It
like
does.
laughing.
Well, they think you're funny.
They do.
Okay,
Even
good.
in the afterlife,
That's a
you're
vibe.
supported.
Oh my gosh.
So
The
first,
land here is so dippy and like look at like it looks like it's been
Yeah.
Excavated.
it's
so are
weird.
you able to feel different energies like when you contact?
I
It's
go into,
still
like,
going?
this weird state.
Okay.
So like when I'm like having fun and stuff, I'm more just like normal about it all. But like if I can't just like do it in day, like I have to like
Still going.
take a moment
And,
and
like,
take a step back,
Okay.
and then it's like I see, hear, smell, and taste things that are different.
Okay.
But it's not like I can just like walk up and be like, yes, this is over here. For me, I have to connect, and sometimes it's hard to come out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I feel like you're not just connecting. I feel like you are not necessarily like you're letting them like embody you in a sense, and that's why it's so hard for you to come out of it because you have to let them go and
Like
come
I have
out.
thoughts that aren't mine and stuff sometimes.
You're quite literally being used as a vessel.
I have myself have actually been in situations like that to where I have felt like I've had thoughts go through me that are not my own. So I don't know if I'm empath or not. I just don't know. But it would not surprise me at all if I had something there that actually would allow me to kind of speak or see or maybe hear things that maybe a normal person wouldn't hear. I mean, I have. So anyway, sorry.
And not in a
Vessel. See, like that's something we were talking about earlier.
the thing is going
when we
nuts.
were having our thing earlier, we talked about what I did as a child.
Yeah.
And about how like when I do these paranormal things, like I love it, but I have this, like it was scary for her to talk about that it was like this demonic energy that I picked up when I was a kid. But when I get into that state, I feel like it's closer to me.
It's not necessarily demonic, but it is inherently like lower, like not nicer vibration.
And
it's attached.
And that's crazy because like things happen and I know it has to do with it.
Yeah.
And like when we were at
That could have been someone downstairs, but for a second I thought I heard someone scream. That was weird. That could have been someone downstairs.
Fear Farm.
That was weird.
Things there weren't coming through, but it was. And when I started talking about it, equipment started going off like crazy. And
You need to find the balance of being like a conductor and a channel and not a vessel. That's the difference. And that's why the protection for you is key.
that's what she said too. She's like, you're 100% a medium. You're 100% all the different voyances that there is.
Absolutely.
And she's like, you really, really need to protect yourself. Banish everything from your house and yourself just to keep it clear. Because like when we were at Fear Farm, we were outside. It was just the three of us. And I was like, you know, if you're this thing that I'm afraid of, let us like know. And just like everything started going off. And I was like, I feel like it's getting closer and closer. And it was dark and it was a full moon also. So
Which amplifies things, absolutely. Because the only reason I ask is that for me, when I channel, it's like I can sense like feminine or masculine energies. And like before we started talking into this conversation, it was more of like a masculine energy.
that's exactly what I said. It feels like a man.
That was starting to come through. So I think that's like, it's like starting to overpower a little because you're connecting so much. So we got to figure out how to get that later. I think we need to do like that whole banishing thing for you.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But like they haven't come back through.
Exactly. Because they need us to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know. It's like, and she made a good point. You know, the more that you tap into your gift, the closer this thing might get, and that kind of makes sense. You know, it's kind of like your eyes adjusting, right? Where it's like you could barely see something in front of you, but when your eyes fully adjust, then it's like right in your face, and that's kind of that's how I view it as. But it is a scary concept. I mean, you don't know what you're talking to, and that's one of the things that I find that's creepy about the unknown is that you don't know what you're talking to. You know, it could come off like a little girl, it could come off like a sweet old lady, it could come off. By the way, creepy old lady ghosts actually do kind of scare me. A creepy old lady, whatever, it's something that's very, very harmless, right? But you never know. For all you know, you could be talking to this 8-foot beast with like horns coming out of its back. It's just that's what's scary about the unknown. We just don't know. And I can understand Selena when she's kind of nervous that she's starting to tap into her abilities more, you know, doing these Sam and Colby collaborations and stuff. But at the same time, could it be affecting like whatever it is? Could it be making it stronger? Who knows, right? Yeah, be careful with stuff like that.
Like if the demon's gonna come through at any time, like it's gonna be this time. Cause like, oh my god, I feel sick.
So how you feeling?
Good. I'm scared to see what happens.
Don't be surprised if ghosts start going off regardless if we're connecting or not yet, because this room is just always
Active.
filled.
Okay.
Speak.
As long as the spirit's
That's a good warning.
Always.
It's just calibrating.
Test.
Okay. Do you wanna put one there? Catball over here.
Yeah.
Could be the shadows. Yeah, it was some of it. Stop moving, Joel.
Okay.
Can you move away from the music box? Just step away if something is here.
Can you touch that cat ball instead? Please.
What should we ask?
Cat ball goes off.
What is moving on? That was weird. I just had such a feeling to put it there.
Is this one of the normal ghosts that's in here? Is this the kids? Or was this it? Yeah.
No.
The kids. They like the music box. There's a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Sometimes like to play with longer hair too.
I dreamt about somebody pulling my hair, which was really weird. I dreamt about this lady who's gonna tell me really bad news.
Alright, so we already have some stuff.
Well, great,
The only
right?
difference
Right?
between a mediumship and a seance is
Some
the
really
size.
bad
The fact that
news.
We have 4 of us all together makes it a seance. If it was just me and you, it would be mediumship.
Okay.
For me, when I channel, they will kind of give me like physical things sometimes, whether it's like I'll feel like my chest or like something with the head, or they'll give me some type of physical symptom depending on how they passed.
It's a nice
Sometimes
chair.
They show me
Sorry, I just want to throw
things
that out
under
there.
what I call an umbrella term. So if nothing makes sense at first, it probably will. They take the long road to get there. And other times it's like,
So fast.
this is my message, this is what I have for you.
Okay.
Other times they'll come through under what I like to call piggyback messages. So they might be like, can you deliver this message to so-and-so? It might be like a relative or someone. If you don't want to deliver the message, you're under no obligation to do that.
Okay.
You're not going to be haunted. You're not going to, it's not anything. You're not obligated to speak because there are,
Any good haters?
yeah. Because there are just some instances where like things have happened and it's like, I don't care to hear from that person, and that's okay. Like, you're not obligated to do that.
Conversation when they die. Hey, I remember that.
If like say I had the demon thing, I'm afraid to say demon out loud.
It's not, from what I'm gathering, from what you've told me, it's a,
like a dark
dark energy, but it's not demonic by any means.
Can that manifest in a different, or like if that were to manifest, do we know what way it would, or is it as simple as just like?
It's as simple as releasing any attachment that it has to you. Because right now, because of the work that you've done, right, with the Ouija and all of that stuff, anytime you try to kin him, I'm getting goosebumps.
I feel like it's already here. Like I feel like it's in the back of the room, and I feel like it's here. It knows that like I wanted to talk, because I've never wanted to talk before.
Right. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps again. So that's a
Yeah.
signifier.
This is time to
So we'll
face what I've done.
It will only have control if you give it control.
Okay.
The more that you're like, I let this in, the more you're negative about it, the more you blame yourself, it's going to feed off of that.
Okay.
And you're going to attract that. So the more you're
That's exactly what I said during Exploring with Josh's video last night. When I was watching that video, and at the end of the video, they are acknowledging that they're afraid of this thing. Like, they're literally saying out loud, like, I'm terrified, man. I don't know if we should leave or not. And it's just like they're letting that demon know that, or that dark entity know that they're terrified of it. And that thing is just sitting there like, that's what I like to hear. It's like, and now it's giving it more power. It wants to do more to them because it likes it. You know, it's getting a lot out of them. And that's just something you don't want to do. You do not want to give anything the power to really give, to really take what it wants out of you. You don't want that. I've studied the paranormal. I've watched many investigations, and these are just the things I've picked up on about these kind of things. And I've dealt with things like this before too. I've had mediums tell me things. I mean, you really got to be careful what you say. When people say, you know, you can use words as weapons, they kind of can be used as weapons, and you just got to be careful what you say around things like this.
like, you know, I don't give this any power. I'm good. I'm releasing it. I'm banishing it. It's going to clear all of that.
Okay.
So, sound good?
Yeah. I am
Perfect.
Ready.
Okay. I'm going to turn the lights off. So it's going to get real spooky.
Spooky's my middle name.
First and
Yeah.
foremost, Miss Selena, there are two very happy individuals that would like to say hi to you. And they are wagging their tails very excitedly.
Duh.
Wow. Even her brother looked like was about to cry.
At the altar, at Hex, I wrote, Max and Jack, I miss you, come see me.
They have never once left your side. They need you to know they are okay. You gave them the best possible life that they could have asked for. You spoiled the shit out of them.
I love them so much.
They know that so deeply.
I love them. Jax went so fast and out of nowhere. So.
Wow.
And it was
We started out with her acknowledging that her 2 dogs are still next to her. Dude, that gives me chills, and it also brings a tear to my eye because that's so humbling to know. I've had cats and dogs and animals in the past, and there's once or twice, and a lot of you guys know this. It's about to make me cry, actually. A lot of you guys know this who follow me on social media, that my dog, Baby Girl, passed away. She was one of the oldest pets we've had. She passed away about 2 weeks ago. And every now and then, we hear her bark in the house. And I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm actually tearing up a little bit because it's like one of those things where you never know if, if they've moved on, if they're not sticking around anymore. You don't want to blame them for not sticking around. But then you kind of have that feeling in your heart that they're still there. Sorry, I actually just got emotional right there. That was one of the sweeter moments think I've ever heard in one of these paranormal investigation videos or just paranormal videos.
It was just one and done. They're like zooming. There's any because they were older and kind of got a little harder to move near the end there, but none of that is true anymore. They're okay.
We love them.
They are safe. They are at peace, and they know that. It sounds so silly, but do you want to ask them anything? Because you can.
I feel really at peace with Max.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had it all. Like, it was good. We could say goodbye to Max.
Right.
But, for Jackson, I've always felt like I made the wrong decision. Like, I should have... he would have been okay if I waited it out or something. Because that's the one that's the only thing in my life that really bothers me is I'm like, it happened so fast that morning. And then I wondered if I would have waited it out. But they're like, no, he's too old. It wouldn't be worth putting him through that. And I was like... It all made sense after he died that he was sick, but we couldn't tell till then.
Exactly. Yeah, you made all the right choices. Yes, please do not blame yourself for that. Okay, he's okay. He's at peace.
Good.
He's very much. There's no resentment there. He doesn't blame you for it.
And they're together.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
They're,
Max was so in love with Jax. Yeah. But Jax was like.
They cuddle sometimes, but it's still just sometimes.
Okay.
So everything's good. Yeah, good.
I'm so glad I'm not wearing mascara.
Baby Girl, our dog, that was the name. We got Baby Girl off of somebody, and we made the best call because we don't know how well Baby Girl would have lasted if she stayed with that person. And she lived a long life. She'd passed away of old age, natural causes, and I won't lie when I say that she got under my skin a lot. She was one of those dogs that you look back on, it's like when you, sorry, I'm getting emotional. If I keep talking, I'm probably going to break out and cry because it's like one of those things, you look back on it, right? And you kind of look at some of the things. I can't even talk because I'm just so, I don't want to think about it anymore. It was pretty recent, so.
No, they have been trying to come all day, and I'm like, you have to wait, you have to wait, you have to wait. Okay. Even since yesterday, then I was like, nope, not yet. It's not there. So no, they are good.
That was awesome. Ooh, I didn't think I'd cry this early.
Right after the game.
You're crying.
Oh my god, I was like, we're at...
I mean, you were like,
he usually doesn't have emotion like this.
I'm like, oh, okay. These are tails. I'm like, oh.
Just said tails. I'm like, ah.
You just got a new dog, or you're okay?
Yeah.
That's okay. They're they want you to be happy and share your love with someone new. Don't feel guilty for you're not moving on too fast or whatever it is. Okay. Supportive. It's a puppy.
Yeah, Eddie.
Okay.
He's really cute.
I feel like he's gonna start playing with things that are not there if he hasn't already.
He already does weird stuff like that. He'll run into another room somebody's there and then come out he's chasing something. Yeah. It's really weird.
So they're all playing together is what's happening in that instance. Okay. So they are already the welcoming committee. So there's so much more stuff.
I was worried that they wouldn't make it with us. I told them last thing when we left our house, I was like, Max and Jax really, please come with us. The cat ball. Jackson would have that thing up in real life. He would have been bobbing it all over the room.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
They follow you everywhere. So when we pass, whether we're animal or human, whatever, we're not confined to time and space anymore. So like, they're here with us, but like they're also home with Adam. Like they're everywhere.
Okay.
They're not limited to just being here. So whether or not you move,
Isn't that cool?
Wherever you are.
But that's something that's been confirmed, I feel like, not only in just this episode of the Selena Spooky Boo, but Sam and Colby have touched upon this, where you could be in more places at once. And it makes sense because you're no longer in a physical form. You could just go anywhere. You have abilities, unless you're trapped, unless some demonic asshole traps you somewhere, then I don't know. That's an issue.
See, we're gonna be with you regardless. It's not like they're
Whoa!
stuck in a
Whoa!
spot, so to speak. You can be
Everywhere all at once.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a childhood dog?
Scooby, yeah.
You just told me about him the other day.
He was older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born into the house with him, and
Yeah.
he was, I'm not gonna lie, a piece of shit. He would if you ran, he'd bite your ankles. If you went to go pet him, he'd growl. But you know what? He was just so cute. Like he was just a little thing.
A little man's.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
He was
He was a grumpy old man.
All my friends have said, ever since I was young, they said that is an old man, and
Trapped in a dog's body.
he lived to 17 or 18. It was insane.
Holy hell, he's older than Baby Girl. Oh,
My
wow.
brother,
Yeah.
he could barely walk. Like he was just like
His eyes were completely white.
decrepit.
Don't talk about me like that. How dare you?
Yeah, he's good.
Perfect.
He'd bite your ankles if he could, but he's good. There's an older woman coming forward. Feels like a grandmother.
Okay.
That's gonna
Feels
hit.
Like it possibly might be on your mom's side.
Okay.
That makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
There feels like there's a little bit of a disconnect there somehow. Whether it was during her passing, either you weren't there, or there was like some emotional attachment where you didn't either see each other that often.
Yeah, I'd say it was more so that for sure. I was there. I was the one who was with her when she passed away.
Okay.
But like we weren't getting along as much when because I was like early teen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I did not expect all
again,
this, to
when
be
we
honest with
pass,
you.
we get a lot of like clarity and the kind of rose-colored glasses that we have here come off. She wants to like she understands. Like you were a teenager, she didn't have the capability of expressing that and really fully understanding that when she was here.
Okay.
And I feel like there was a lot of things left unsaid. There were a lot of kind of undertones of things.
Yeah.
And
That's the
she
fear, right?
can't take that back, and she can't change that. But she just want to let you know that she does acknowledge it, and she does kind of take responsibility for that.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense.
is there anything you'd like to ask her?
Joel, do you have a question for Grandma? Joel was really close with her.
I don't have anything.
No?
Sure you don't?
She just wanted to die because she missed my grandpa so much. So like, are they together there?
I was just about to say, what's with the grandfather? Because they're showing me fingers crossed. So that for me is like, they're okay. They're healthy. Because she was sick when she passed.
Mm-hmm.
But he passed obviously before her, but his was by surprise in an odd way.
Okay, yeah, he had diabetes his whole life, but he just like dropped dead when he was in his 60s, like 62 or 3.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. They said he was dead before he hit the floor.
Yep.
Like it was like gone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like I'm not, that's jeez. I was sitting here thinking that's the goal in life is just you don't want no regrets in life. That's why I'm doing what I do with YouTube. Is because I view this as maybe a career path, and I just want to I never want to say I should have done that. I should have said this. I should have done that. I've wasted my opportunities. I threw everything out the window and I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to go down and play and do it this way. And I think that's something that you never want to say is I should have done that. I should have done that. you don't want no regrets. And I feel like if I had regrets, I would be in the same shoes as the grandma. Maybe I would want things, I'd want to finish things. I would want to tie loose ends. I wouldn't want to have regrets. And I feel like that's the goal in life, is just to make sure you have none. Don't have no regrets in life. Just live your life. Take risks. It's okay to take risks, even knowing your family and some people in your life may say, don't do that. It's not smart. Take risks. You only have one life. Enjoy it. Never have regrets.
And that took a long time for like him to even process, like,
Oh, I'm sure.
your grandmother and like the rest of the family. But he is okay now, and it's like he's like sorry for not taking more like better care of himself, because I feel like that was kind of told to him over and over again. He never like.
Grandma was very strict with him, I guess. Like, I didn't get to, like, none of us met him. He was gone before we came along, but she was always like, you can't have this, you can't have this, and yeah.
Yeah. But they are very proud of both of you, by the way.
Oh my god.
That confirms that. I mean, perfect timing.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. No, very, very proud of everything that
I
you've
feel so
done.
spooky right now. My grandma loved this stuff, and she had a hard time believing it because she like said to her mom, like, when you pass away, I promise you'll come back and tell me if it's all real. And no one ever came back to her. But like our family is just so like into everything, so like to know that she found a way back through. Yeah,
Absolutely. And sometimes it's like when we are like we're searching for those answers, we don't get them because we have this like we're looking for specific things and they're being shown to us in different ways and we don't realize what they're trying to say, because it could be as simple as like number signs, it could be as simple as like seeing 3 yellow cars in a row. Like it's so subtle that we don't always, we're looking for like the slamming doors or the recorders or something like that, and it's not always that black and white. Sometimes it's very, very subtle. So
okay, that's awesome.
Who else is around?
are there do you see a lot of butterflies often?
Yeah, I talk about it a lot too. Yeah,
So that's your grandmother.
I always wondered, because I said that to Adam, that I'd see 2 butterflies like dancing all the time. I'm like, I feel like that's my grandma and grandpa.
Absolutely. When
Wow.
there's 2 together, that is absolutely them. And it doesn't even have to be like an actual butterfly. It can be someone has a necklace or a t-shirt you see on like a painting someplace.
I
It's
literally
not,
have a butterfly tattoo too.
So-
Another meaning, but like it's.
but
I felt drawn to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Any questions for either of them?
I just feel like they're at peace. I couldn't think of a question because I just know that like all they ever wanted was to find each other again.
They succeeded. So they're good. Again, so a piggyback message. They just ask you just let your mom know that
Let mom know.
you're good.
Should we let mom know? Okay.
Was there an uncle that passed? I keep hearing like uncle. It could also be like it's coming from your side, a younger male situation, uncle.
It's the same one you saw.
He sent me a picture of him once. It was a Snapchat, and there was a man laying behind him in bed. And I was like, who is this man? And I described him. And he showed me a picture, and it was his uncle, mom's brother, right?
Yeah,
That passed
I'm
away.
getting chills because he was almost like a second dad to you. Cannot express how proud he is of you, and he needs you to know that he's okay because it was one that's been weighing heavy on you.
My
but
hair's
the
standing
passing
up.
was-
I'm about to cry for this guy,
shocked
dude.
it, like,
I could,
really.
I could tell the second she said uncle, he looked right at Selena and was like ready to fucking lose it. Like he held it together, but damn, dude, you could feel that. I did not expect this. Wow.
Everyone up.
Yeah, he was at work and he just had like a heart aneurysm. He just died.
Because like right here, it just feels tight.
Yeah, just gone 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was a brief of boop, and similar to your grandfather, it was just
Where
what the fuck just happened? Basically, he looked at himself in the chair like I thought I was just doing that. Like it just didn't fully click.
Wow.
So he needs you, but he's okay.
Okay. I think I've been getting better with it,
Mm-hmm.
and like, of course, it's one of those things you don't think about every day. But when something reminds, like, especially when she said that, it really
Right.
took a toll on me because
I keep seeing a radio. Was there a song that like reminds you of him or like?
he was he was a musician himself.
Okay, beautiful.
And he would, like, every time we came over, he was very into the country. He lived in Drumbo for the longest time in Canada, and play and to sing, and everyone sings along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to teach you like instruments or something when you were younger.
Drums.
He's
Never learned. I'm
no.
sorry.
He's like, what the? Why did you not continue to do? He's like, what the hell? Like my dad tried to teach you, and you just didn't even follow through with it.
Oops.
Couldn't even continue.
Yeah,
It's all obviously in good fun, but no, that's it. He again loves you, appreciates you, like understands that it's been hard.
Yeah.
So
See him one day. Hopefully not soon.
he's so scared to see go. And it's not a threat, like that is
Yeah.
not an invitation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
No,
good to know.
he's. Do you want to ask him anything?
Yeah, actually. I mean, like, I just want to know if he
Where were
ever,
the keys?
like, visits my mom. Because they were very, very close with each other. And she always said to me that she kind of senses him, in a sense, verification that he is around us.
He showed me a chair in like a living room.
Oh! My mom has her office in the basement, and she has a desk chair. And every once in a while, it feels like someone's kicking the back of it. And it's not me, because I'm not there.
And then chills again.
Yeah.
My arm, everything. So.
And she always says, because they were very playful together. He's older than her, and he would always bug her. And
Always. I feel like the lights too. Something with the lights, whether it's in her office in the basement or like something around the house,
Wow.
whether she swears that she turned it off and it's on, or vice versa, or like something.
she always complains. Sorry, Mom. She always complains about the lights being on, and same with my dad. And yet her office light is always on.
There you go.
It's like a wall, doesn't it, when she says it?
Yeah, like on a car accident.
Oh my god.
So yeah, again, if you feel the need, just tell her like he's okay. And yes, he is messing with the lights in the chair. That is him. so,
Perfect.
to confirm.
It sounds like somebody's swearing.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a more heartwarming video than I thought it was going to be. Like, we haven't even gotten into a seance yet or anything like that, to my knowledge, but she's just explaining how many people are around them, and the dogs, the uncle for the kid, the guy, I mean, and, you know, their grandparents. It's just... And, okay. It's good shit. It's good shit. Really emotional.
Wow.
Is it cold over there?
Definitely colder than over there.
Okay. That thing freaks me out. I'm like never ready. He wasn't ready.
No. I'm like, we're here for Selena, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, no, actually, bang, bang, bang.
Everyone here is susceptible, and because you guys are related, like those messages kind of come through for both of you. So they're like, you're here, so you're here by association. Anyone and everyone. Any other questions, comments, concerns before?
Or someone being like, I need to come forward.
I was gonna say before we get to everything else.
That's what I thought. That's for.
Maybe it doesn't want them to.
If I were to ask you, because I always feel like it's a thing, like a physical thing, and I can feel like where it is in the room sometimes. And I'm just curious if I make that up. If you were to think, like, do you get an idea of, or a feeling of where it is in this room? That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just kind of, not that it's in chairs, but if I were to put it in chairs in my mind, it's just, it started standing in that back corner, and now
Yeah.
it's like second row from the back.
Yeah.
And I've
Wow.
just felt this whole time, and it's just, in my head, I'm like, am I making up that I feel like it's back there? And then I ask you, and you're like, no. I'm like,
No, it's right there.
yeah.
So right now what I'm doing
Right
is
there.
I'm setting a very firm boundary with it that it's not getting any closer. So
I got
what-
goosebumps right when you said
Yeah.
that.
So we need to find the balance of not only just opening yourself up, but you have to be protecting yourself at all costs every single time as you're doing that.
Because that's the thing, like, I don't know if I have been doing that, but what I do know is that, like, I've never acknowledged it. I've refused to ever acknowledge it, and that's why I want to do it here with you. That's what I'm doing, but
And because you haven't done that, it's because of that fear, and that's what keeps it locked in. That's what keeps it being like, yep, I'm here, right? And because you don't acknowledge it, it knows it has the hold on you. So the fact that I'm like, you're not getting any closer than where you're sitting in that chair right now, my guard is up, I have everything surrounding us, like, that's it. You have to be very firm and grounded and solid in yourself. Be like, you're not getting any closer, you're staying.
Confirms everything I've been talking about too. It really does. It really does. Like seriously, acknowledging, like even if you don't acknowledge it. And I've told people not to acknowledge certain things, and sometimes things go away. But if something has a darker, more malicious intent, perhaps maybe not acknowledging it because you're too afraid of what it could do. You see, if you're not going to acknowledge it, don't do it out of fear. Do it out of, no, I just don't care. You're not gonna bother me. Screw off. Go in with that type of attitude. Don't not acknowledge it because you're afraid of it. If you're afraid of it, and I've been saying this for a while now, if you're afraid of something, first off, you never want to acknowledge it, or you never want to come off like you're afraid, because that's just going to give it more of a hold. As she has stated, it gives it more of a hold on you. I'm kind of satisfied because it goes into everything I thought too.
Away, like, and you're leaving, whatever the case is, and we'll do the whole situation to get it fully away. But if you feel anything, it has to be that balance of, if you're channeling in, if you're opening yourself up, when we use Ouija boards, when we use pendulums, you open yourself up to anything that wants to come through.
yeah.
Yep.
When I'm sitting here channeling, yes, I'm opening up, but it's only those that are involved with people here. Only those that are aligned with the highest and best for everyone here, not anything below that frequency. And that's where that boundary is, and that's what keeps you protected and safe from any and all negative or lower vibrational attachments.
Okay. Now, this thing, to me, like, it has a look. Is that normal to, like, picture in your head what it looks like? Not only like a blackness, but if I were to, like, describe it to you, I don't know if they have, like, names or if it's like succubus.
It could be, but again, all honestly, and for me, it doesn't necessarily matter.
Okay.
Right? Because for me, it's not necessarily like man-like, but it has like a figure of somewhat of like a man, but it's not quite a man. Does that make sense
It's
to you?
like it's like a man that has like these huge shoulders that's hunched over, and its face is like everything's black. It's like black on black on black, and its face is so grotesque with like almost like a bloated body with a swollen tongue.
See, I don't even
With
see
like
that.
horn type thing. Like it's like it's really not devil-like, not like those. I just got like the coldest breeze.
I have chills. Hold on.
Because it's the first time I've ever talked about it loud, but it looks like a big black is black grotesque thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's never been human type of feeling.
Right. It's just, it has like a similar shape, but it's not. Yeah. Keep looking for like, where is it?
Like you're not seeing my room at night.
Let's get all the supplies ready.
Okay.
We'll do what we gotta do, and we'll see how you feel after we complete it.
Good shit. He's just sitting there with that big bloated tongue just hissing at him. He doesn't like it.
So we're calling upon all ancestors, all higher guides, and higher selves.
But he
Banish
can't
any
do
negative
nothing.
Energies from the space, from everyone in the space, and he'll protect those here in regards to any energies that are not aligned with our highest and best or any lower vibrational frequencies. If any vibrational frequencies are here that are not aligned with the highest and best for any individuals here in the space, you must now cease, desist, vacate, and leave immediately.
Okay.
No
Music's
longer
getting intense.
affecting anyone on this timeline or any other timelines. You are not allowed to stay if you are not in highest resonance. Are you feeling anything physical right now?
Dizzy.
You are not allowed to stay here.
You are not allowed to stay here.
You need to vacate and
You need
leave
to vacate and
immediately.
leave
You do not
immediately.
have control over me.
We connected to something. You do not have control over me.
I feel like it gets a little bit closer.
You hold no power over me.
You hold no power over me. I told him, you know, I'll give you my unborn children. I release any and all contracts
That were made under false pretenses.
that were made under false pretenses.
How are you feeling now?
Like I'm a little kid. Like fight or flight a little bit.
That's okay. Stand your ground. I am only aligned with my highest and best.
You say if you say these things, you gotta say it with confidence. You gotta say it like you are putting your foot down as like a statement like, I made a mistake, but you are not in control of my life. You get the hell out of here and you do not come back. You gotta be 100% behind those words. Like, yes, you're repeating what this woman is saying, but you gotta be 100% behind those words as if you are saying it yourself, as if you're saying it with a fucking microphone and you're just blasting at this thing. You gotta have confidence, 100%.
I'm only aligned with my highest and best. You will not return. I feel more confident now.
You have to own it.
Before I
Say
felt
it.
like I was a kid and like I was afraid to even talk. And when you first said to say it, like I physically couldn't say the words. Like I was shy.
Yep. Because that's how they take advantage, right? When you're younger and you're impressionable.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do right whatever kids are gonna do, so you can be like, no, I'm not that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, like those contracts that you supposedly made when you were younger, they were false pretenses. You were impressionable.
I was a child.
Exactly, right? You are more confident in yourself. You're more knowledgeable. Understanding your boundary, like that has no control over you. Your energy feels a lot lighter.
My indigestion's gone. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just had a lot of health problems. I just felt like felt better. This has been crazy. You hear about this stuff, but actually doing it is...
Experiencing it is wild.
Well, there's not enough thank yous in the world for expelling my demons.
Literally, figuratively, all the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course,
so much.
absolutely.
Can I give you a hug?
Absolutely.
I just want a hug now.
Absolutely. You are so welcome. Anytime. With anything.
I feel better.
Good. You feel lighter. Like
I feel
energetically.
less-
It's just.
Do you want to pick me up?
It's a good ending. It's a feel-good
I don't
ending.
wanna ever look
Yeah.
at any of that footage now.
How you feeling?
It's a lot, honestly. It's like, I don't know. Like, I've always been into this kind of stuff, but until you sit down and actually do it, it's like you said, how does she know?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and the people that came through for me, I'm like, was so unexpected. Except for the one I asked for, but I was like, it's nice to know that people still,
Care.
yeah. And it kind of gives you a sense of relief that no matter how long we live for, there's something after.
I don't know what I was...
This ain't look. When you die, it's not the end. You level up, right? That's how I view it. Like I'm a level 1 at the moment, but when I fucking die, I go to level 2, and I'm beyond, man. No, it's not the end. Trust it. It's not the end. It's just not. Your soul stays the same. Your body may age, but your soul stays the same. That's what this life is all about. It's a battle of what your soul is going to be. You know, have a pure soul, have a good heart. That's the key. That's the key in life. And it is. That's what this is the life that you live now is determining whether you're going to have a good soul or a bad soul. Be a good person. Be good at heart. That's all you can do. Your soul is the one thing about you that will never change.
expecting, but like I thought I was gonna learn, and I didn't think that we would like banish something tonight, which feels insane. I always felt drawn to Salem, and tonight was just
Surreal?
something else entirely.
Yeah.
The thing about Salem is like places built around what happened, and it's attracted so many people with like the most amazing gifts ever. And now we're here, and there's so many things to see and so many spirits, and I love it here. I feel connected here, and now I feel happy knowing that like I'm leaving that thing behind. Because if there's anywhere for a bad spirit to be, it's here. Because there's so many things to keep it away and protect people. Hi. So it's been a few weeks since Salem.
Oh, cool.
We're in October now.
Back in Canada?
It is 4:12 a.m.
That scared the hell out of me.
When I got back from Salem, the world felt different and it felt lighter. And then I kept doing investigations and it felt different, and I felt like I trusted myself more. Those videos are coming in the next 2 weeks. And I felt like whatever that was gone. But of course I had moments of doubt. And a couple nights ago, I had a dream. And it was a dream about that day with the Ouija board. And it was like it was happening in real time. And in the dream, I was aware that it was a dream. But I felt myself doing all these actions, repeating what I did before. When I woke up in the morning, it was weird, because usually I forget my dreams. And I remembered it all day, and I felt sick. And then I went to bed that night, and I had the same dream. And then I got up in the morning, I'm like, no, there's no way this can happen again, you gotta get out of your head. I had forgotten about it. And then I went to bed that third night, and I had the dream again.
Reoccurring
and I stopped
dream.
having the dream. But in real life, I got that feeling back. But not only a feeling, seeing. I kept seeing something dark out of the corner of my eye, which was strange. And I didn't think too much of it. Of course, I was starting to panic a little bit. But I was like, maybe it's just me. So this weekend, I had my friends out. Haley, Kendra, and Chris. And we were in the forest, and I got that feeling again. And then Chris looked at me, and she's like, I just saw this big dark figure run across the side of us. And it was right after I had the same thought. The series has been crazy, and this Friday, which you're gonna see on the 30th, we're actually filming about this house and maybe looking a little bit deeper into me. I'm nervous, I'm excited, and I make fun of everything. But it's scary when you know you're like a really logical person and you're trying to brush it off and you make these things not as serious as they are, but then the people around you start experiencing them, so there's no way it can't be real. The series has definitely changed from, you know, just going to haunted places to finding out a lot of things about myself. I'm glad you're here for this, and if you're not subscribed, it feels weird to tell you this at 4 a.m. after a weird talk, but if you're not subscribed, you should. I like that you're on this journey with me. It feels safe knowing that this is through a lens, but I'm looking at you.
Me? Well, thank you.
I'm just up, and I'm having bad dreams. So I wanted to check in and
I've been there.
tell you that what's coming is incredible, and I've learned so much. See you next week, Boo Crew.
I think I delved into most of what I was wanting to discuss about this video, which was a really good video, actually. Thank you. I'm glad to be on this journey with you, Selena. I was very, very interested in your content, and I think you're doing a great job. Please keep it up. This was a very heartwarming video. Almost made me cry several times, and because I've gone through my own stuff. It'd be interesting to get my own reading done by someone like her. It would be interesting. I would be curious to see what they say. So guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the content. It does mean a lot. I will do more Selena Spooky Boo reactions as long as you guys keep hitting that like button. And until next time, guys, do keep it retro and do take care.